Hello everybody and welcome to the RuneScape Weekly live stream. I am JD and today I'm joined by a very illustrious group. I have Mod Warden with me.
Hey everyone.
I have Mod Osborne.
Hello.
Who you may notice is...
we haven't come up with a name yet. Orlando Osborne?
Orlando Osborne.
I'm trying to come up with something that works. Yeah. Dr. Osborne, there we go. Drosborne.
Drosborne, yeah. And I'm also joined by Mod Timbo as well. Good afternoon everybody. And I think, you know what, I think it's about time that we gave you a little bit of an update on something. So I think what we're going to do to kick off with is roll a little VT for you.
Oh. Straight in. It
is straight in as well.
I know,
yeah.
It's really testing this.
There we go. Let's do this.
There we go.
Oh, I did not see you there at all, but actually maybe you can help. You see, I'm on the trail of something you might have seen. Don't worry, here it is.
So there you have it. Archaeology is coming to you on the 30th of March. Set your diaries. Remove all of your any distractions you have on that day. Any appointments, cancel them.
I think it's like take the week off.
Take the week off. Take the month off. Take the year off. Archaeology is coming.
That's it. A week to get to 120. We can
Can
do
I take
it.
the week off?
That's
Or
You're talking to your line manager. Good work.
yeah, do I have to be here?
Yeah,
The way the team's been talking about the release, I think they all would want to take the week off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long process, isn't it? Getting this to where we are happy with it, and also getting to a point where we're really excited for it as well. Am I right in saying that in terms of the scale of the update, this is one of the biggest that we've ever done?
Ooh.
Expansion level.
Ooh, called it now.
Yeah. No, I think it's pretty sweet overall. But you know, there was a lot of time put into it. A year and a half maybe.
Crazy amount of time put into it.
Yeah. The first email was June 2018 that I found. That was the kind of the kickoff of all this. And
Did we spell it right? I know there's been a lot of internal spelling errors.
that second A causes a lot of people problems. But yeah, I think we kicked it off in earnest about October, September that year. So yeah, it's been we comparing it to like dungeoneering and things like that. It's
how long ago the last new skill, right?
Yeah, which was comparable.
Last skill was 2016.
Yeah, January 2016.
Yeah, exactly. So it's big. It really is big.
This is a big deal, though. I think it was time well spent, and we're down to the last couple of sprints where we're just kind of dialing in.
I've not seen an update where the actual floor of the dev floor is so excited about the release for a long time. I don't think.
I mean, part of that's because we did longevity testing. We got as many people involved in playing it and enjoying it as possible.
Segue into the next section.
Yeah, I say hold the thought. On
sorry. I was going to say, complete the thought was kind of like it's really nice seeing people continuing to play it after the testing is finished.
Yeah,
which is good.
The funniest thing for us is we had longevity testing, so people played the skill like they would normally play this as a player, and then we stopped it and we were like, thanks for the feedback, but we need to get on with actually fixing the bloody thing. But then some people were just like, no, we want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on, guys, we've done with feedback, and they're like, no, but I'm really enjoying it and I'm having fun with it, and like,
I solve mysteries.
Mod Shogun wouldn't stop leveling the skill, and not to call
we have some obsessive team.
Yeah. So for those who perhaps haven't been aware of what archaeology is, can we get a little elevator pitch to sort of articulate what it means to the player base?
Well, obviously it's a new skill, and it's been long enough, 3 years or so, that for us, 4
years,
for us that we really we need a new one. And to be honest, it's the joy of uncovering powerful elements, artifacts, relics for you to get to use as a player. But also, one of the joys for me is finding and exploring unexplored areas, lost time, kind of delving into the God Wars and finding elements that have been, were very powerful, and now it's yours. Now you're fixing them, and now you're, taking them and incorporating them into your skilling.
And like, if you're like me and remember when the God Wars came out in 2007, you just fell in love with like Ziliana, Grador, the other two, Kriara and I don't remember what the demon guy's called.
Tootsie-Roth.
But I remember that update which being amazing. There was requirements to get in. There's the bloody snow that loads of stats, and like fighting these bosses is really cool. And like, if you want to know more about those gods and those god wars and what happened during that god time, like this is absolutely what we're there for. Like we zeroed in on the end of the second age, the start of the third age, and like if you're not a lorehound, there's still loads of stuff to go and enjoy and find out and that sort of stuff. But if you are a lorehound and you're interested in that sort of time period, then like we just cram so much of the God Wars in.
And if you're just interested in how it benefits me or you, then it's relics are a hugely powerful effect that is passive on the player. But if you're an active player who's got invention or have got summoning up to high levels, then stuff for you too in the form of ancient summoning inventions. There's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, so we touched on the fact that there is a huge lore element to the skill as well. Is this the first time we've really sort of baked that into a skill?
This is what happens when you get Mod Roly onto a skill. Let them loose for 18 months. Dungeoneering had a bit of it. In that, you delve down, each floor meant something different, the bosses meant something different, you find journals, different worlds, different characters. This is that ramped up by a magnitude of 10. It really is. It's each of the dig sites is a mystery to be solved. They're all, as you say, relics of the God Wars. So and each one is representative of the god. So you're finding out more of our core gods, the Zamorak, Saradomans, Armadillos and Bandars.
Divination was the result of a story. Obviously, there's the start of the 6th age, and spoilers, Guthix died, so his energy was pouring out all over the place. So that was the result of the storyline. But I don't think there's been a skill that's so richly tied into the history of RuneScape as archaeology is, and that was definitely one of our big focuses of the entire skill.
So kind of something for everyone, really. I
Absolutely.
think is the way that I see it anyway.
Even Mod Ryan? No, that's not Mod name anymore. It might be Mod Ryan still. Like he doesn't really like quests. He spacebars through them and doesn't really understand the storyline. But like he loves the skill. He's been working on the skill. We've been using him as a barometer to understand that it's not just people who are really into quests and read all the dialogue and stuff that really get involved in it. It's just there's environmental storytelling. There's just being in these dig sites and being in this ancient area and understanding what a
lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah, and there's just tons of Easter eggs and there's more pop reference things you could take a stick at.
We had a player visit last week, and he was pointing out all the references that I hadn't got that leaked through. So it's like, oh right, okay, that's a reference to that then. Thanks, guys.
We'd be going through all the achievement names for all the achievements.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Just so many puns and localization haters.
And all the examines are in there and all that.
There's just been so much love and passion poured into this project that I'm literally at breaking point. I'm not
physically
really.
and mentally.
I'm not really. It's just there's just so much love put into this skill that I can't wait for people to play it. I'm not nervous. I'm just super, super excited.
Yeah, we touched on relics.
Yes.
So kind of the main, one of the primary reward spaces for archaeology. How many? Because I've seen lots of different amounts of relics within our internal systems. How many at latest?
25 to 30.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think we're almost in the place where we've locked in the relics because we've been hazy about giving numbers because you might chip one out because it's too powerful or not powerful enough. But yeah, last count was, a number above 25.
Something like that, yeah. So we gave the list out at RuneFest with all the relics. Some of those have been removed. We have added new ones since then. So
they're better.
Because they're better or they're just a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But some of them got taken off and that sort of stuff.
But the thing is, the way that relics work is that you can only have so many active at any given time. You've got to play around with your energy. Each one costs a certain amount of energy. You've got a pool of it. So that allows us, from a balancing perspective, to go crazy. It can be kind of imbalanced and give effects that are game-changing, and that's lovely. That means we've basically been able to let Timbo off the leash. In the same way that Mod Roly was with lore. And
the aim is when Elder Gold's Dungeon rolls around or any of the quests roll around, they add new relics.
It's a reward space, yeah, absolutely.
I noticed a lot of new people just tuning in. Archaeology is releasing March 30th.
Yep,
yes,
right? Absolutely. And we will show the little video again right at the end.
Oh.
Just in case you didn't have enough of Mod Osborne. Okay, so one more thing that I wanted to just quickly touch on from a sort of a top level view of what archaeology is. There is a free-to-play element as well.
Yeah, it's something I want to try out. It's often when you're getting to level 5 in a skill, it doesn't feel like you've tried it, like you've really experienced what there is to value in a skill. And so we want to try going up to level 20. And level 20 in archaeology means opening your first dig site, exploring that, and getting the joy of the payoff of breaking through the wall into Caradet. So, yeah, hopefully that means that more people will be excited about archaeology and maybe want to make the leap into membership.
And level 120 as well, 120 skill.
Yeah, that's something we talked about a lot. I mean, you could talk about it more than I can.
We were adamant it had to be a 120 skill. There was so much content, so much going on, so much story and like content we wanted to put into the skill that it had to be 120 for us. Like there's so much going on in the skill and so many rewards that affect high level players.
Yeah,
we felt like we had to be a 120 skill.
There are probably people who are sceptical about that 120 number because it's a new skill. How could they possibly take the skill up to 120 and it feels satisfying? We've achieved that. We've also feel like there's obviously it's got a long life ahead of it. There'll be quests, there'll be other rewards that drop in. That it also leaves some space for us to put some stuff in there too. But we think it's the right call. Cool.
Final thing, dig sites, because we've kind of touched on Caradet.
Yeah.
How many dig sites can players enjoy on launch, and can you tell us a little bit about each of them?
Yeah, I could do. Impromptu Timbo tours.
I'm thinking more kind of a line rather than a paragraph.
So
perhaps.
yeah, so we have five. There are 5 main dig sites, plus there's a cheeky 6th one, which is like the Archaeology campus.
Okay.
Guild,
Yep.
which is where the tutorial takes place.
Yeah.
It's like a cheeky 6th extra one. But first of all, we have Caradet. I'll go through them in level order as well. This is a bit of a spoiler, but there you go. So Caradet is our first one. So that's the ancient Zoroastrian fortress that fell at the end of the Second Age. Then we have Infernal Source, which is underneath the Boar Inn.
Jolly Boar. Is it?
Jolly Boar Inn.
I want to say Jolly Boar.
At the edge of the wilderness. That's all about cults and hell and the rings of hell and
Sounds
demons.
like a regular Tuesday for us.
All from a pub, so yeah, it's very British. Then we have the Everlight, which is where the Iceni had their base of operations during the Third Age and the God Wars off the coast of Mauritania. Vanascula doesn't like the light.
Funny that.
Yeah, she's being a vampire. Then we have Stormguard is next, which is Armadil's secret fortress in the sky. It had during the God Wars, and that's where you'll find out about ancient invention. And then lastly, we have the Warforge! Point.
Yep.
You're welcome, Mod Rowley, which is the Bandosian one, and that is where Bandos held all of his armies, and that's where the Great Crucible was.
And go for it.
Yeah, what are the requirements to get into archaeology?
There are no requirements to get into archaeology.
Not even membership, effectively. To get up to level 20.
Not even technically membership, yeah.
And that's we want people who are coming back to the game to feel like they can get stuck straight into it. We'll have a little pop-up. Don't worry, you can get rid of it. To teleport directly there, so you can just start immediately. It's basically for everybody to go in and maybe partake in the chase.
Yeah.
From a progression point of view, how do you feel it differs from past skills? Is it when we kind of look at, we get players that are very interested in min-maxing and XP curves and everything, how does that feel to you?
It feels very different because it is technically a gathering skill. That's what we've classified it as, so Grace of the Elves will work with it. But because there's gathering and production and meta stuff around it, it's very difficult to say. It's a very unique skill in that regard. It doesn't have a closed economy, so most things are tradable. 95% of the skill is tradable, which is super interesting. And the way that everything interconnects is complicated.
Yeah. I find the pace of it very different from other skills in that you obviously there's still the grind in terms of you're leveling up through your artifacts and various other things, but then you've got that kind of payoff of now I'm in a new dig site and there's a degree of exploration, finding everything that's valid in there, what you want to fold into your routine to do next, and so then that takes a large proportion. Then you might be back into doing a little bit more of the grind, and then you've got a decision on which dig site you want to optimize through. And then, of course, you're going to come out of it and want to do a load of ancient summoning and inventions. So the pace feels very kind of stop-starty, but in a very good way because it's rewarding.
Yeah. I think I could spend an entire stream talking about the design of archaeology. I'll try not to.
That will happen.
I think the one thing is that on its face, it looks like a very AFK, very genteel skill. But once you understand the metas and the systems behind it, like the way that collections work, the way that chronotes work, the way that you have to focus certain things, the way the materials interact with each other, the way that screening works, the way that ancient invention and ancient summoning requires certain parts of the skill, and how mysteries feed into those parts of the skills as well. It forms quite a complex web that only like really good RuneScape players will understand to begin with, and that's what I'm really interested in. Is that people are like, oh, you just dig here and like you get stuff, and it's like I just sit there AFK and I can follow the thing if I want to, the time sprite if I want to or not. But actually, in fact, it's a lot more complicated than that, and there's a lot of layers on top of it.
What's going to be fascinating is that first week with the chase, in that lots of people are going to have to be navigating that spider web pretty early. And so there's going to be a lot of swapping of information. What's the optimal way to play? Because it is like that. But then also you've got the life it leads after about a year, as people try to work out maybe their best way, because there's so many different ways of training it. Like you can focus on collections, or you can focus on kind of researchers. Various things will come up in like videos that we do, and people will have different choices.
If I'm a new player, what might I expect on being introduced? New player, or even if I haven't played for a while, can I really ease into it, or is it hard to find and discover?
It's not that hard. It's a very familiar RuneScape. So one of the aims we had for the new skill, for any new skill, Archaeology being the no skill, was that it had to be very easy and very understandable for a returner, or for like, if I haven't played RuneScape for 10 years, I come back, do I know what I'm doing? Yes, I have a tool. I go click on the spot. The spot gives me things that I use to restore. Like, it's very easy and understand to get into, and like, as there's only 5 sites, it should be quite easy to understand. I need to go to this site now, or this, and their level progression. You can backdate to other ones as well. So like, I think, it's very immediately recognisable RuneScape. It's not alien to the player.
It's extremely social. Like you're going to a dig site where there's lots of other people who are doing exactly the same as you, but you are generating resources that might not be valuable to you, but it might be valuable to somebody else. So if you want to take part in a kind of that social swapping, trading element of it, then you can. I mean, there are other ways of getting the materials you need, but I think that's really good for a new player. And to be honest, for a lot of people who like chatting as they're playing, as you're just kind of shouting, anybody got some Samite Silk? Kind of looking for Samite Silk, and now sorry.
Spoilers.
And if
we come to expect it from Dave after all this stuff.
If that's the top spoiler that comes out of my mouth today, I'm happy.
If I care about Iron Man, what would I expect there?
It's a little rougher for Iron Man, but I think they wouldn't expect any less.
We have tried to accommodate Iron Man, because it was the early part of testing. It was harder on Iron Man. It was on DIYs, because there was a lot of trading. But we've put in things that mitigate that quite a lot.
Yeah, longevity helps us a lot for Iron Man players. So like, whilst you may not get the things you want from training Archaeology all the time,
there are ways of guaranteeing.
There are ways of guaranteeing what you want, and ways of DIYing that are a lot easier than perhaps other skills.
So we talked about longevity testing. Obviously, when we originally announced Archaeology at RuneFest, we were talking about January, and obviously 30th of March. If you tuned in late, 30th of March, Archaeology. We'll see how many times we can say it over the course of the next 40 minutes.
We should have got t-shirts.
We should have got t-shirts.
It's so obvious now.
What did that give us? What did that extra couple of months give us in terms of sharpening up the skill, making it look to a certain level? As you mentioned, longevity testing. What else did it give us?
One that stood out for me was environment art. I maybe go on record and saying even better than Dino Island from an environment perspective, right? So I think that gave us
Stormguard in particular for me.
Yeah, that's right. That stood out to me. A whole lot more of not just kind of having more time to finish up existing jobs, but be a little more careful with our quality and bug fixing. We still got a couple sprints to go into, and then we've got RC testing, of course. But
I think that there's certain things that you get if you have more time for the dev team, which is the Easter egging. As we've talked about before, you get them. The team can put their fingerprints on the content, put a real depth in there that people will hang on to. It
has a personality.
Has a bit more personality, absolutely. And obviously a degree more confidence in, now that we've done longevity testing, played it as a player would, we can have extreme confidence that journey is really enjoyable.
Yeah, it's just getting not just the core feedback from longevity, but getting the ninja type fixes that you would normally get from a bit. Because like instead of waiting 3 months for us to like you guys to play the content and for us to implement the
Build
Ninja
more of
quality
them
of
now.
life stuff, we've done that already. Well,
The achievements,
not all
the
the
collection logs, they're all there.
I'm not going to claim it's 100% quality of life free.
Yeah, we're drawing a target on ourselves,
But like we've had the time to implement those bigger quality of life stuff that we wouldn't have done if we released in.
Some other little, I think another important thing, and we don't often look at how we build up our brand as well. Gave us a little more time. We also had some new hires that were able to help us with that. We've got some adjustments to our key art. We've got a brand new logo.
That is true.
You know,
actually.
like
yeah, we wouldn't have the logo.
yeah, we have a really different logo. But
Yes.
it's really on brand and what we were making, and I thought that was important. Also, trying to figure out how we talk about RuneScape a little bit differently. We got a little bunch of different things going on this year, so give us all these opportunities to do more and better.
Absolutely. So we're 5 weeks away, or just under 5 weeks away now from release. Will players be seeing anything in game in the build up to the launch?
Ooh, Easter eggs, right?
Well, yes. I don't know how much to talk about this.
You know what? Should we be a little bit coy?
A little bit
Perhaps be
coy.
A little bit coy.
Yeah. So Archaeology will make its appearance in game before Archaeology's launch. You know, there'll be little bits.
And again, this is kind of what this extra time
Yeah.
has allowed us to do a little bit
We could
as well.
we could show a little bit of leg in the weeks that lead up to Archaeology. And
Yes.
so you will see a little bit of Archaeology's leg coming out.
Yeah.
And plus we get to talk about it in, you know, the ways that you kind of love. So we're going to be revealing information. This might seem a little bit vague as a live stream goes.
Yeah.
The main reason for this is really the announcement for the date.
Yeah.
Obviously. But and to restore confidence a bit. But you're going to find that there's going to be videos, road twos.
Oh,
Can
yes.
that's your
Well,
next
this is
question,
why
isn't
you're dressed as you are.
it? Well, this isn't just, you know, for my pleasure.
What have you been doing today?
I have been I've been filming intensively.
No.
Ah, nice. Nice.
Yeah, I'm not used to acting, but there's been a bit of acting going.
So you're let's just say you're not playing Mod
Acting,
Osborne.
darling.
You're not playing Mod Osborne.
No, somebody else this time. It would probably mean that I'm at 3 RuneFests on the trot in the same gear.
Nice.
It's going to get particularly aroma.
Yeah, so you talk about Road 2 videos. The first of those Road 2 videos, I believe, will come out Friday the 6th of March.
Yes.
And the live streams that will follow after that. So we'll sort of have 3 weeks worth of video content, 3 weeks worth of live streams dedicated to Archaeology. We'll be going down into the nitty gritty.
Absolutely.
Expect more of me and what I was
Yes,
for.
of course. You haven't started yet. You're filming Thursday.
But we do have a little bit of a surprise for you guys because we don't want you to have nothing to go on from today. So we've organised a little bit of
Could this be?
Oh, Ozymandias, Jack.
a little bit of a run through for you, and Timbo is leaning over really
gracious.
surreptitiously
Very gracious.
to show you a little bit of Everlight and what this looks like.
So yeah, this is.
Breath of the Wild.
I have completely. Breath of the Wild. So this is the Everlight. Well, this what you're showing is literally the Everlight, which is the lighthouse. But this is the Everlight site at off the coast of Mauritania, and thought I'd fly around and show you some of the cool stuff that you're going to be getting access to on the 30th of March.
Yeah, if you remember that there are 5 dig sites in Archaeology. This is the surface level of one of the 5.
Yeah, this is just the surface of one of them. So there is more things to be discovered here. I'm terrible at camera shots,
You're probably spotting lots of things that you'd want to interact with.
but yeah,
That
so
might be
I
able to
just
find.
do-
You can see you can see the excavation spots there that are twinkling away.
But like this is some of the beautiful environment art that Mod Warden was talking about,
Oh,
and some of the quality we managed to get. What's over
okay.
here?
A bit of Quidditch.
If you guys want a little bit more lore about Everlight, there is a Archaeology journal which is currently on our website, which was released last Friday, which talks about it's almost like a diary entry from Venescula. She's looking quite perturbed in it, so it's
Absolutely.
quite
Well,
entertaining.
to be fair, this is on her doorstep. It's a lighthouse. You know, you as a vampire, you'd probably be slightly against that.
Yep.
But this is from back in the day when the Icene are angelic beings. were-
That's a good shot, Tim.
Well done.
How many
right
times
there.
you practice
She
that?
has a mossy undercarriage.
I was trying to avoid the upskirt.
God, So the ice scene were more populous here at one period during the God Wars. So you can imagine angelic beings wandering around this kind of Romanesque area. Nice pillar shot, good work.
I really dig the lighting in these environments as well. I think there's been a lot of extra tweaking on that.
It looks stunning. It looks, and the art team have done an amazing job.
So this is what we're talking about in terms of adding a bit more life to the areas. You may have seen, but to be honest, this is from deep sea fishing. This is an individual turtle. But you know how deep sea fishing felt alive. That's something we really want to bring in, and you'll see archaeologists wondering about. They'll be talking and digging as if this was a proper dig site.
You may remember the Iceni graveyard from.
Go on.
Not River of Blood, the one before.
Lord of Vampirium.
Lord of Vampirium, which may or may not be part of a.
Now you've got an idea of where it is.
But yeah, this is where it is. This is obviously the camp. This is where
you find Vanascula.
This is where you hang out. There is. I'm too far away. You can't actually see anything. You can't see Vanascula or the. No, it's fine. But this is the entrance. This is where you come in. You can either come all the way down from the top, which is very far away up near Araxes' lair, or you can teleport in here, and this is where you'll land in. You'll come over the makeshift cameras stuff, and this is where you'll enter the dig site, and then obviously the different islands all have different themes. So I show you the Quidditch area, which is actually the sports area.
Quidditch area, I'm interested where.
You will have spotted it earlier, don't worry. It was very clear.
G.K. Rowling. And then it comes over to this is the amphitheatre, I think. This is the amphitheatre section. So this is more of the cultural area of the Iceni, and there's a war section over there before. There's loads of stuff underground. There's obviously the cool lighthouse, which is awesome.
So what's the player's objective in Everlight?
You need to get to the top of Everlight and claim the Everlight for yourself.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
And it may not be as easy as going up, just climbing up some stairs.
No, because if you may notice, it's actually maybe you can't see it. It's sort of sunk underground. Can I get under the water?
Oh.
So it's actually sunk under the ground. So you have to try and make your way under. Try and find your way underneath. Make your way up through and then sort of climb the Everlight until you get to the top. And there should be a Misto there. Or should I say? Don't know what Mod John's mod name is.
Mod John.
Is it Mod John?
Yeah.
You find Mod John's character who has finished the Everlight and has stood up here,
Just
admiring
swinging his arms in the.
La-di-da.
Look at the view he's got up here.
That's really nice. Well, what I like about this is when you imagined archaeology, like when we were starting archaeology as well, we wanted to push it away from the traditional dusty tombs and green fields with mouldy walls and
exactly. So you might. There are some times you're in a cave.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being in a cave every now and again. But much like outside in the Everlight, you're digging underwater. In the Infernal Source, you're literally digging inside a hellscape. Stormguard, you're in the sky.
Yep.
We wanted to really emphasize the fantastical element. The skybox in this area is so cool.
Wow.
Cool.
So that is Everlight at the surface level.
Just the surface level of Everlight, not the underwater bits or any other extra bits.
Yeah, and to reiterate, this is one of 5 sites.
And just think about the moment you get the levels to come here.
Yeah.
And just those doors have opened up. Go explore.
Yeah.
I can't remember what this section is. This might be the.
It's a podium. Yeah, it's definitely a podium.
Oh yeah, it's the podium. Yeah.
And the ashes of somebody who didn't. Oh my, Thanos! Thanos, no.
That's a spoiler for one of the dig places you can actually go dig at. But yeah, that's what they look like. Let's just go finish the Quidditch area.
Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about.
It's definitely not Quidditch.
Just pilot wings through hoops.
Pilot wings.
I drenched the water being thrown through there. Hey,
3 points.
Is this what the stream is now? How well can Timbo use the next one?
Hey, there we go. Should we finish on that? Thanks very much, Timbo. There we go. So again, that is one of 5 dig sites that will be open with the launch of Archaeology, which is March the 30th. There we go. Got it in again.
Somebody's mentioned that spring break.
That even better. Fantastic. It's almost like we planned it.
Spring break.
But thank you very much, Mod Osborne. I think you're going to be.
Yes, go off, do more filming.
Go off and do more filming.
Thank you.
So that.
No ticket.
Get back to the tent.
Yeah. Get back to that tent.
Get back to the tent. Yeah.
Get back to the tent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that is part 1 of the surprises that we have for you guys today. And we have, I wanted to ask, sort of at this juncture, one of the things that we talk about quite a lot internally, perhaps not so much to you guys, is quality of life. And Warden, this is something that you're really, really passionate about, and making sure that we are sort of updating the game regularly and making sure that if there are sort of pain points for players, then we are offering solutions to them. So how important is it to you?
So important that elevating support for it within our dev team and putting a whole lot more resources on it than we have in the past, and focus and priority and expertise and all of that above. And you might have saw that we put out some releases yesterday, and I think that was a kind of first step of this new era.
Okay. So that seamlessly, I mean, it's almost like we planned it. It's a seamless segue.
I mean, you might want to mute my mic very temporarily.
Yeah, let's mute Timbo's mic. We would love you to introduce you to the all-new Ninja team. Da, da, da.
I have to strip off.
Hey.
Roar!
Hello, guys. Welcome to the live stream. The first time as ninjas, apart from you, Timbo, who was part of the original team.
Costume change.
There we go. And as you've seen, we have been changing all of the graphics. We have some T-shirts. We feel part of the club, ladies and gentlemen. So, guys, tell us a little bit about Ninja. Mod Kalea.
Hello.
Who are the Ninja team, first of all?
So, well, this is the Ninja team, funnily enough. We've got a couple of people missing off the couch today, but I'm Mod Kalea. I've been working at Jagex for just under 8 years now. RuneScape player for since 2007, I think. Almost maxed, but invention is slowing me down.
And soon to be Archaeology.
And then Archaeology, which I can't wait for because it is a lot of fun.
You're one of the top players from the longevity testing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. I got a bit obsessed. It was great fun.
You're one of those people that were obsessed.
Yeah.
So, Claire, we move over to Timbo.
Hello. You may know me from such skills as Archaeology.
Hiding in plain sight as well. So the whole of the live stream you didn't know at all. Timbo, moderator.
Yeah, so hello, I'm moderator. I was previously on Archaeology as well, but moved across to the Ninja team as we were starting up. But obviously there was enough resources put back in place in the Archaeology team, so they weren't left without resources. Don't worry about that.
And Mod Breezy.
Hello, I'm Mod Breezy. I'm QA for the Ninja team. I've been at Jagex for the past year and a half now. I've been playing RuneScape for close to 14 years now. Seen on projects such as mining and smithing, farming and herblore, weapon diversity for a bit, and a few other bits and bobs here and there.
Weapon diversity, what a project that was.
Should we not talk about that one for the time? Okay, so Mod Kalea, tell us a little bit about ninjas. What does it mean to be a ninja?
Well, we've forgotten two of our people, so I'll introduce the people who weren't able to get on the couch today. So we also have Mod Abe, who is another developer. He gave me a little bit of a script about him. So he's been a player since 2003, he said. So a long time RuneScape player. Started gaming at 5 years old. Oh, sorry, pillows over there. And before coming to Jagex, he's done a PhD on water droplets. So you'll have to go and talk to him about, how that looked, because I have no idea. We've also got Mod Kari, who is our newest Jagex CM member. So she's helping us to set up all the ninja stuff in the background and get us going on all of that. And some of that I'll talk about later.
More on that in a second,
yes,
and just to highlight, it's Mod Abe, A-B-E. It's in Odyssey, it's in Odyssey rather than A-P-E.
Yes.
Yes, cool. Indeed. So what is the purpose of the Ninja team? Because as long-term members of the community might remember, we've had Ninja teams in the past.
Yep.
Refresh people's memories and tell us why the new and improved ninjas will be better than ever before. Yeah, so we're here to take on the quality of life mission in RuneScape, essentially. So if you're not familiar, we've always been a fairly small team that's just there to take on lots of small jobs to really improve your kind of daily gameplay in RuneScape, and that's really what we want to continue doing. I've got some slides on what we are and what we're not going to do. So if we go to the next one, so that kind of gives you an example of where we are at the moment, and what we are going to do and what we're not going to do.
And yeah, we're going to work in strikes to really nail down content.
Drive improvements.
Drive improvements, yes, indeed. Make your gameplay better every day.
So, as I say, we go down this list. We've got tackling some regularly encountered sticking points in RuneScape gameplay, working with current content to make it better to play, addressing viral content. I'm going to do what I've always been told not to
Never
do.
do this.
Slides, but
they can read.
Addressing viral topics, addressing valuable concerns encountered by only a few players, working with the players to identify the best places for ninjas to strike, planning out regular strikes, and getting on with the RuneScape quality of life mission. So they're the things that ninjas don't do.
That's the things that. Oh yes, I might have phased out for a little bit, but yes, So fixing bugs and typos and things. It's not as important to us as getting into the nitty gritty of something that you play every day. We want to make sure that's a really good experience for you.
The other really big important piece is speed.
Speed, yep.
Right, and addressing quality of life faster.
Yes.
And in the right ways.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So you might have noticed we actually had our first strike yesterday. So these are all the improvements that we made to the game yesterday, and this was kind of our first effort at taking on the quality of life mission. So hopefully a lot of stuff in there that you like. The invention interface, I think, is one of our biggest kind of wins, but we had a few in there that are good corkers, stopping all those God War Dungeon drops that you don't need anymore. And then we've got another set of updates coming up on the 9th of March. Moderator, you've posted about one of these already, so you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I put out this tweet about the potential refresh to the herbicide settings, which would be also translated across to Pseudocide and Bone Crusher. To just sort of get it out there really. So it's trying to think about the actual, what is the purpose of this interface and how can we help players better fulfill that purpose for what it's trying to do. And basically what I come up with was the idea of it is sort of trying to allow players to min-max certain drops. Do I want this to keep it for myself because it's valuable to me in terms of GP or in terms of what potions or whatever it goes into, or do I just want this XP value instead, right? And at the moment, that's very difficult to do. You have to either go to the wiki, or when I put this out, there was a couple of players saying that they stood at the GE for like half an hour to an hour looking up the price of absolutely everything before making their decisions. So this hopefully goes some way in sort of allowing players to make more of an informed decision. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of other sort of smaller changes as well that I've made in and around sort of this one interface.
I kind of found this kind of interesting when you started looking at this area. I don't think you had anticipated the breadth of what you were going to apply to it, but as you were kind of working through the problem, it started thinking about the player experience and what they might see.
Yeah.
And then it uncovered a lot of different elements to it.
Yeah, I mean, UX design is something that I really enjoy doing anyway. Specifically sort of interaction design, copyright design, and stuff like that. So the actual initial job with this is something that we'll touch on a little bit in a little bit as well. The actual initial job was to allow the Charming Imp interface, which spoiler is on the screen already, to work in a similar way to these other three interfaces that I just mentioned. And it was that then made me look at, hey, what's the next level up? Whilst I'm already here, what else can I look at whilst I'm here? And then it was the actual evaluate the interfaces themselves. And yeah, it was all of these changes were then what came out of it.
Yep.
I think that's a really great sort of example of what a ninja can do, isn't it? Like you see a problem and then you identify what the problem is, but then it shows, oh, well, how can I apply this to other things in game as well that players might also be having similar issues with. So
yeah, it's exactly the same interface layout. So it's like if I'm already converting this into this one, then I might as well look at all of them at the same time and see like, are there just general improvements that could be made that are quick enough for me to classify as sort of ninja, like that quick turnaround, right? So yeah, there's a whole bunch of smaller little things in there as well. Like for instance, the checkbox. It used to be you could only click specifically on the checkbox, and now you can click the entire box, right? It just sort of makes it a little bit easier to use, which especially on mobile, right? Like that makes a big difference. Yeah. And some of the text as well. Like that's not the actual final interface. Like some of the text whilst you're reading that is like, okay, so any herb selected is like, well, is that noted, unnoted? Like, so I've now explicitly stated that it's unnoted herb. So it's like it's taking that the questions away from the player that they don't need to have to worry about. You shouldn't have to ask those questions whilst you're using this. Yep. And the other example of that would be on the auto pickup. So it just said if you get the upgraded herbicide, it says auto pickup, and then next to the checkbox, and that's it. I'm like, does that overwrite my current checks with I auto pick them up instead of destroy them, or does it auto pick up all the unselected ones? So it actually took like a bit of time to actually go into the script, go onto the wiki and stuff to actually figure out how it works. And it turns out it just works on unselected ones. So it's like, well, I might as well just explicitly state auto pick up unselected herbs, and it just sort of takes that question away altogether. So hopefully makes it a little bit easier to use.
Yeah, and that's something that, as I say, you can see on the slide coming on the 9th of March.
Yes.
So all the three changes that are alluded to on
Yeah,
that slide.
yeah. There's another teaser in there.
The 9th of March.
Yeah.
One of the questions I did want to ask is around the different types of strikes that there can be, because obviously we've got the kind of approach where you can scattergun lots of different types of things, but also the kind of the more themed approaches.
Yeah, so we've got these first couple of strikes. That's an early slide. Put that slide away. Well, spoilers, there you are. So strikes, so we've got our broad strikes, and that'll be just kind of, scattergun, as you say, like little improvements here and there that you come up against. But then we're also going to be doing themed strikes. So that'll be, we're looking at one piece of content and we're looking all around it. We'll probably play through it as well. And really, make improvements to that piece of content specifically and release that as a ninja strike.
So I saw a couple of people actually mentioning like Iron Man, for instance. That'd be a good.
Iron Man is broad. There's a lot to Iron
something
Man.
a specific Iron Man issue, for instance, or a specific Iron Man improvement.
I mean, absolutely. It really, like when we're looking at it in that way, it really looks like it's a case-by-case basis. Yeah. But we'll look at everything and we'll just find the best things that we can strike at.
Okay, and you might have had a little bit of a spoiler as to what's to come next. But Ninja is obviously designed to improve the experience of kind of our more regular players and identify areas in which we can enhance that playability of the game. So obviously what we do want is your suggestions and your ideas. So Mod Kalea, can you talk to us a little bit about the Ninja Dojo?
Yeah, so this is Mod Kari's project. She's put this together and it is amazing. This is our Ninja Dojo. So if you put !ninja in the chat, you'll get a link to our dojo, or at least I hope that the exclamation mark ninja.
Yeah, you can see it in the chat. It's all good.
The dojo is where you can submit challenges to our ninjas. There's some guidance before you do it on what we're looking for and how to give us the best kind of suggestions for what we can strike at. But we're really looking for you guys to feed us the best things for us to look at, and what you come up against every single day or very regularly. That could do with us having a look at it and seeing what improvements we can make.
Is it case sensitive?
Ooh.
I know that there's 200 characters.
Yeah, there is a 200 characters. The thing. I have no idea.
Okay.
No.
I mean, people are spamming it. It's time.
You'll find it. We'll also put the link out
so you can see the link.
news
The link is
posts
coming up quite regularly in the chat. So if you can see the Moobot suggestion in there in pink.
Yeah. Just send us anything you'd like us to take a look at. Obviously, we can't do everything. If you say construction rework, it's probably not going to happen. We're a pretty small team, and we're really looking to make impactful changes.
But it's the focus that you have too. It's not about how big the improvement would be.
Yeah.
And I think if it becomes too big, then we'd want to bring it into one of the other teams and apply even more resources.
Yeah, I mean, a good example could be like I find it really difficult to switch between interfaces in construction, for instance. And then you guys would go away and you say, actually, how can we make that improvement?
Yeah.
And we'll come up with some ideas as how we could do it, and then we would release them to hopefully with a nice quick turnaround time. Which brings us to kind of my final question for you guys is like, how regularly do we think we'd see sort of a ninja strike?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put a frequency on it at the moment because we're just getting going. We're still, figuring out exactly what we can do and how quickly we can do it. But we are going to have regular strikes. So yeah, that's all I can really say at the moment. But regularly, and
it'll become a little more visible in our release notes and how we talk about them and share the info, and then it'll be good.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to get you guys on stream more often, I think, as well.
Yeah.
More often.
Every week.
Well,
That's fair. I've not been on for a while. So.
Timbo, there's a mattress right behind the sofa.
That's where my John sleeps.
Fantastic. Okay, so anyone want to add anything else at all before I kick you all off the sofa for one final little thing?
I don't think so. I mean, just to wrap up, I guess, is we're a dedicated team of experts, of ninjas that are really looking to improve the quality of life in RuneScape. So send us your stuff because we really want to work closely with you guys. But yeah.
Yep. So !ninja in the chat.
Yep. Send us your
to
stuff.
submit your Ninja Strike suggestions. As you can see, as you hopefully remember, the next Ninja Strike is likely to come out on the 9th of March, or that's when it's penned in for, and you'll be seeing regular strikes, or at least let's say regular. Let's say regular strikes over the course of the coming months. And we look forward to seeing what you guys have got in store for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely.
So thanks very much, everybody.
Thanks for having
I'm
us.
going to ask you guys to scoot off of the sofa. We have one more guest.
D-Mike.
Yes, please remember your
Am I
mic.
going?
You can leave if you like, Timbo.
No, I'll stay. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
There might be some archaeology questions. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? I'd like to welcome onto the sofa Mod Ramen. Woohoo! Woo!
Because I'm not mic'd.
Yeah. So that just makes me look silly, but that's fine. So you're a late addition, Ramen, to the live streaming schedule today.
Yeah.
So I hope we've been able to give you enough time to prepare what you're talking about today.
Yeah, I think I know what's coming.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So we did our game jam last year, and we delivered the Warriors Retreat as the first project, and I think Ramen's going to talk about the next one.
Cool. Yeah, Solak scaling. A lot of you guys and girls kind of know this one's coming. And we do have a date for you, which is awesome. So it's actually going live on Monday. It's been through the RC build and it's all signed off. This, as Warren said, this was a game jam one that's been a long time coming. So I want to thank everyone who has been kind of excited about it and has helped out with it for being so patient. Just to quickly break down what it is. Back in 2017, released Solak with 2 modes, duo mode and 7-man mode. So that means, say, if Timbo had 3 friends online, he wouldn't be.
It's very ambitious.
He wouldn't be able to go because his other pals want to go do duo mode, and he doesn't have enough people for the 7-man mode. But now I've kind of squished all the numbers together, so Solak scales no matter the amount of people you go on, except solo. And still caps out at 7. Yeah, Monday should be good. There's a couple of quality of life fixes going out as well. So quick starts, polishing up some bits in the fight should be good.
I asked you to select some questions for me, Ramen, I could ask you, but I think you've pretty much gone through a fair few of them already.
Yeah, I just talk.
No, that's fine. No, that's great. No, keep going. But no, I mean, obviously, this is something that has gone through the game jam process, and we've worked on over the course of the last couple of months. Game jam was in October time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
October time.
Yes.
Why do we feel like this was the right time to change the way that we work, the way that Solak works?
I guess I've had a lot of time to reflect. I've done a lot of podcasts and interviews and spoken to the players about learnings from things like AOD and Solak. And it's allowed a lot of time to gather feedback, to reflect on what I would have done differently, and then why think about what I could have done differently, why not act upon it, and sort of open it up for more players. Like 7-man is, like 7-player mode that's quite a high number. When we put out a poll in the previous years, and 3 and 4 was kind of the sweet spot for group bosses. Yeah. So why not open it up to everyone, so you can just go with all your mates or none of them.
Nice. So in terms of, obviously Solak is a case in point. Are we looking at any other potential bosses in the future that we might look to do this kind of thing for?
It's more of just a quality of life. Like, we've been going through recently we've been going through various bosses and just kind of gathering feedback on little bits of teething, like the Araxor Par 3. It's no secret that Par 3 used to be kind of miserable.
That was out last week, wasn't it? Last week or week before?
Week before, I think. Par 3 just wasn't fun, so we kind of put out feelers saying, okay, how can we improve this? We're doing this with multiple bosses. We did a massive AOD kind of revamp, I think 2019, where we basically fixed her up, shoved her on a beta, and gathered feedback. So yeah, we'll always kind of look to go back and sort of fix various things, make bosses better. we've got a massive list of stuff we're going through. Actually, some players on Twitter did, after this, send us a nice list of quality of life things that we're going to go through, we're going to discuss. Some of them are just like too easy, like speed up Virago's gravitational cores. It's like, we understand it's kind of a bit of a time gate, but gotta make sure to keep the magic of what was.
Absolutely.
But
I mean, we were obviously talking about Ninja just now. If we get those kinds of suggestions through, obviously it's something that has come through a game jam process, which we've done perhaps kind of on average sort of once, twice a year, something like that. Yeah. Is there scope perhaps within, say, Ninja, if we were to talk about sort of a themed improvements week?
Absolutely, yeah. We end up working with the developers who originally came up with the ideas or did the fixes or something along those lines. We'll work with them to have a strike focused on a particular boss or a particular thing going forward.
Cool. And I have one more little surprise for you guys, that also on Monday we have Ripper Demon Pets coming in as well. So I know that's something that's been asked for a while. Ramen, you still want to say something?
Yeah, no, there's a couple more things actually. I forgot.
Okay. Go for it.
They were in the Solak scaling stream. Ambassador, if you examine it now will spit out Enrage, the player's highest Enrage, and I've removed defense animations from all bosses in the game, because when you're in kind of the flow of fighting and Solak's smashing the ground or AOD's doing it, and then a player hits, they sort of stutter. Makes it look a lot more.
The fights are a lot smoother.
A lot smoother.
You can see mechanics a little easier and stuff as well.
You go into most other games and their bosses don't have these weird flinch defend anims, so it just.
Just to confirm, do you mean Telos Enrage?
What did I say about Enrage? Ambassador. Yeah.
Sorry, it's just in the chat, and I remember when you said it, I was a bit like, okay.
Did I even say Enrage?
Yeah, you said Enrage.
Yeah, you said Enrage.
Did I?
1 out of 2.
What did I say?
No, it's all good. Well, that's great that we've been able to kind of get that through, and I'm sure that, as I say, there are a lot of players that have been wanting that for quite a long time. So they're really excited by it in the game jam. So. To sum up, everybody, we have got a little bit of time actually for a couple of questions. I know that there's a few guys looking at the chat at the moment.
One of the ones I see pop up a lot, and we get a lot of requests for iOS.
Yes, I was going to ask that.
I see that in Reddit all the time as well, and I updated a post that like I've got to build on my phone. We're making builds. We've got to put a whole lot of new tech in the game just to be compliant. On Apple's ecosystem, so that's going to take a little bit of time to work out, but it is part of our strategy, and we'll want to bring it out in beta first, and there'll be a limited amount of people that will be able to participate that initially, but then soon after we do a beta, I'd like to bring it to market when it's ready.
Ooh. Yeah. That's exciting. And obviously we'll keep you updated as and when we have more information on iOS. We'll as soon as we hear, you guys will also hear as well. We've had a chance to sit down and properly work out how we want to shout about it and who we want to shout about it to. So just to quickly sum up, if we go back to the very start of the live stream, we have Archaeology, the new skill coming to RuneScape. First skill since start of 2016. It is coming to you guys on the 30th of March. Expect 5 dig sites. Expect all new relics and rewards. Epic locations.
Ancient skill training.
Lots of lore. Anything you could want in a skill.
120 out of the gate.
120. Just the list goes on. And what we'll be doing is we'll be sharing with you in the next few weeks what you can expect from the skill, a little bit more information about the various different dig sites, and I'm sure we'll save a few surprises for the launch as well. So
expect to see a lot more of me over the next couple of weeks, whether you like me or not.
If that's not a reason to keep tuning in, I don't know what is.
We'll pencil in those design streams as well.
So coming next week, we have the Solak scaling as produced by Mod Ramen, and we also
and Diago. He was a massive help. And there were a big Discord group, but
cool.
Just don't want to leave people out.
And then we have the Ripper Demon Pet also coming next week, and then the week after is our first Ninja, or second, I suppose, Ninja Strike, which will be. Oh God, the backgrounds are skimming through quickly. Great.
We should dim the lights as well.
Yeah, and that will be coming to you guys on the 9th of March as well. I think we've covered quite a lot of ground in what is about an hour. So if you have any questions, again, we'd love to see them. We'd love to take some of what you've said and respond to it either on Reddit, or we'll bring it to a live stream in the future. But yeah, keep talking. We'd love to hear your feedback on anything that we've talked about today. If you want to submit a Ninja fix, ! Ninja in the chat. But I believe also there might be a little bit of surprising game for you coming in. Is it in about 2 minutes' time?
Sure.
Yeah, so you should start seeing, if you guys are around for the mining and smithing rework, you might start seeing something a little bit familiar. I won't tell you what it quite is yet. I'll let you find that out for yourselves. But yeah, we hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. We'll be back very soon, and take care.
Bye.